In this lesson, we will be finding perimeters of composite figures. So what is a composite figure? Well, it's a shape that's made up of more than one shape. So the example they give you in blue is a square and a triangle together. The dotted line is just to show you where the two different shapes meet. The example in orange uses a rectangle and a semicircle. So it does the same thing where they give you a dotted line to show you where the two shapes meet. Then it says, to find the perimeter of a composite figure, find the distance around the figure. So it's the entire edge area. We would be adding up those lengths. Today we're going to practice estimating and finding the perimeters of composite figures. First, let's try estimating. Let's look at this example with grid paper. On your page you see a yellow arrow. Looking only at the perimeter of the arrow, they have two different lines drawn, one in red and one in blue. If we look at the box with the red writing, it says count the number of grid square lengths around the arrow. And they counted just the lines where the squares meet the edge, and there are 20 of those. Then if we read the blue words, it says count the number of diagonal lengths around the arrow. There are 8. Then the second blue box says estimate the diagonal length to be 1.5 units. That makes sense. We know the diagonal part of the square is going to be larger than 1 because we're already looking at both sides and those are counted as 1. The diagonal that cuts through it is going to be larger than 1. So the grid square lengths in red are each equal to 1, and there are 20 of those. 20 times 1 is 20. We counted 8 diagonal lengths, and they were each figured out to be 1.5 units. So 8 times 1.5 is 12. Then all that's left to do to figure out the perimeter is to add 20 and 12, which makes 32. So we can estimate that the perimeter of the arrow is 32 units. Now let's practice finding perimeter without a grid. To figure out the perimeter of this composite figure, first we need to figure out which shapes are part of it. So we know there's a triangle and there's a semicircle. Then we'll need to figure out the perimeter of those shapes. If we focus on the triangle shape, we know that the two sides that are on the perimeter are 8 feet and 6 feet, and if we add those together we get 14. So we already know that those two sides together are 14 feet. Now we need to figure out the semicircle. And to be able to figure out the curved edge, we need to find the circumference, and then we'll have to divide it by 2. So if you remember from our other lesson, the circumference formula is c equals pi times diameter. So let's replace pi with 3.14, and we know that our diameter is 10 feet because that's the dotted line that goes all the way from one edge of the circle to the other. If we do our multiplication, we know that 3.14 times 10 is 31.4. Then we can't forget to divide that number by 2 because we only want half the circle. 31.4 divided by 2 is 15.7, so the circumference of the half circle is 15.7. Our very last step is to add together the total for the perimeter on the sides of the triangle, which is 8 and 6, and then we also add together our new circumference for the half circle, which is 15.7. Adding together the totals we figured out, 8 plus 6 plus 15.7 equals 29.7 feet. Well, I hope this video helped you with your math. Welcome back from Easter break, and hopefully this week will be a good one. See you soon.